What a beautiful sunny day. Welcome to Core and Breath. For all of you that have been with me for some time, you know who I am. For those that are new to the platform, I am Teresa Guigno, your yoga guide. This is the Core and Breath practice, and I want to play around a little bit today with some gluteal energy. That means your back. Okay, so let's just first start this practice out with a spiritual opening, meaning the chant of Om. So get comfortable. I like to just hang out on my bolster. This is my sacred space. It uplifts me so much when I come to the mat. Even when I'm feeling like so out of sorts, and I notice that you too sometimes, the discipline of showing up on the mat and literally turning on this video and doing the practice can be hard at times. But once you're on your mat, magic happens. Let it begin. So as you find your comfortable spot in your cross-legged seated position, let us just notice what we notice about ourselves. For me, my word today was pick myself, or the phrase was pick myself up, pick myself up, pick myself up, and then gratitude. Gratitude as I stop and look around and realize that this is an amazing time in our lives, meaning difficult and also beautiful. So when it's like this and there's difficulties, oh my goodness, is there ever, it's really important to find and carve out the time, the discipline of being in your practice. It is, because it takes care of you mentally, soulfully, and physically. Okay? So once you're seated, we do want to have some props, so you can go gather up your props, whether it be blocks, bolster, anything that you need, and let's just sit. Take your hands into interlaced fingers, palms open across your chest. And the truth is this, some days you've really got to push yourself to get to the mat, as I had to do today, and yet I'm so grateful to be here with you right now. The unshakable truth is that we're often going to feel that there is a need for support, a need for a boost, a shout out, and also the discipline of being honest with yourself. Be honest, okay? Be honest. So as I integrate my truth, unshakable truth mudra, I'm being honest with myself. I need this more than anything, okay? Close your eyes and sit up nice and tall. And as you root down through your sitting bones, just use your mind's eye, your imagination to see how tall you can get. Like literally ground down through your sitting bones and rise up through the crown of the head, so that there's space between each vertebra and that you're like an extension ladder. So even if you have subluxation or herniation or fused discs, you still want to be able to provide yourself with that mindset, that healthful mindset of elongation, of space. Yeah. And then let's take a really kind, long, smooth in-breath, really filling up all of the lung compartments until the belly bellows out. And when you're ready to exhale, just blow it out, right? Using that diaphragm of yours, like, do that a couple more times, really inviting that space of being here right now and noticing your breath. Just do it at your own pace. Roll your shoulders back. And then let's begin with one big beautiful Om. Take a deep breath in. And then very slowly release your fingers, wiggle your shoulders, blink your eyes open. Welcome to practice. Okay, I said I wanted to do glutes. Well, let's do glutes. First things first, find yourself in a tabletop position. And I just have my fuzzy wuzzy blanket. I returned back to it. Take a blanket underneath your knees if you need to. And once you come into your tabletop position, curling your toes under, just to start to move your spine, for some of you who haven't done any practice yet today, and this is the beginning of your practice, it really is important just to open up all channels of your being. Resist the floor with the root of your index fingers, moving your spine. You could do a traditional cat-cow and tabletop, beginning in that position, then exhaling forehead to pubis, really devoiding all that breath, lifting your spine towards the sky, and then inhaling, filling your belly, lifting the back of the skull towards your sitting bones, and then moving back and forth with the breath. I like to offer up more of a swirly movement in my pelvis, anteriorly, posteriorly tilting with a swaying of the lumbar spine. You do you, figuring out what that means for you. Good. There you go. And then from here, let's just walk the knees a little slightly further back. Make sure your hands are as wide as your mat. Turn your elbow creases to face forward. Knit the belly button in. Lift your feet up off the mat. And then begin to lengthen your arms so they're nice and tall. Bring your shoulders more forward. Start to dip your pelvis, but bend your elbows simultaneously until you touch your pubis towards the floor, and then press your pubis back up again. Blossom your bum. You've got it. Turn your elbow creases to face your index finger and thumb. Come forward as far as you can come forward with your shoulders, elbows staying straight. Then start to dip your pubis and bend your elbows simultaneously until your belly button or pubis touch the floor and press back again. Do this about 9 more times at your own pace, or 8 or 5 or 2, whatever you feel the urgency to do. So it's an inhalation, moving the pubis towards the floor, bending the elbows, and then exhaling, moving back. I just happen to bring my feet together. I like spooning them together. So take your time. It's with breath. So inhale. This is the back bend. Think of it as cow pose. And then exhaling, blossoming your bum back. So we're working the flexion extension of the pelvis. Yeah, your arms are strong. You're pressing the floor away with the root of your index fingers and thumbs. You're keeping your neck as neutral as possible. Yes, you are on your knees. You're turning those inner elbows in towards your side ribs. You are strengthening your upper back as you do this, your upper arms, your arms. Take your time, exhaling back. Maybe a couple more. Inhaling forward. All right, exhaling. Feel what works for you. On your next one, as you begin to inhale, bringing yourself forward, let's go all the way down onto the tummy. Plant or flex your feet, extend through the crown of the head, and then sweep your arms straight back behind you. Lift and elevate the front of the shoulders so your arms literally lift up. Squeeze your legs closer together, reassess them, press into your plantar flex feet, and then extend through the crown of the head, and then lift yourself up only as much as you can, smile and breathe. So we're contracting the lower back muscles, lengthening the front body muscles, but your legs are really strong, pressing into the tops of your feet. Feeling that energy. Good stuff for 2, for 3. Actually, let's count down for 5, for 4, for 3. Keep your neck nice and long. Keep those arms lifting up. 2, and then smoothly release right hand, left hand down onto that. Bend your knees, a little windshield wipe of your legs, and let your forehead rest. Couple more breaths here, just dancing your dance, okay? Slowing it down. This is a road to recovery, so we're slowing down our yoga practice. Squeeze your legs once again together. Sweep your arms back, lift the front of your shoulders, press into the tops of your feet, and then hovering yourself up through the crown of the head. So your chest may or may not lift up off the floor. As long as you're breathing and smiling and you feel the contraction of your back, your legs are rooted down, your quads are contracted, and you're in this position for 5 with a smile. For 4, lift those shoulders up a little bit more, spread your fingers. 3, lengthen those legs by contracting your quads. For 2, smiling at yourself. For 1, and then exhale, left hand, right hand. Rest your face, forehead on your hands. Bend your knees, a little windshield wipe. Good, it just takes time, just slowing it all down. Let's do that again. Root the feet, extend your arms, lift the front of your shoulders, spread your fingers, contract your quads, your legs, press into the tops of your feet, rise up as much as you are able to with a smile, and breathe continuously. For 5, for 4, for 3, roll those shoulders back. For 2, 1 more, you've got this. Good, and then resting your forehead on your hands, stacked in any way that you wish. You can even fist up your hands and give yourself more nose space to breathe, because I know a lot of us feel that urgency, like, yeah, I need to breathe. Now from here, slide your hands to your lowest ribs, curl your toes in dorsiflexion, lift the front of your shoulders so you have toes, knees, and hands. So it's going to take your strength. As you lift your pubis up off the floor, pressing in your toes and knees, straighten your arms. Voila, you're in tabletop. Plantar flex your feet, slip your bum all the way back into your heels. Tone the belly away from your thighs, anchor your tailbone down, stack your hands, and breathe as you rest in your child's pose for 5. Just giving yourself permission to be here now. No need to worry, to run. Facing your fears is the option that we all could look at. Okay, and say, yes, to facing your fears or forever run from them. And we don't want to do that. Good. On your next in and out breath, start to lift your torso up via your hands. Find your bolster, place it across your yoga mat. This is where we're going to have a little bit of fun. Or maybe you'll have fun the whole time. Walk your hands over the bolster. Plant your pubis, your hip creases, and your thighs, that is, where your hips and your thighs meet at the pubis area. And then come onto your forearms. Now, I'm going to highly suggest that a lot of us take a yoga block between the index finger and thumb so that you can resist the floor and find that dolphin position. Then we're going to squeeze the legs together, bend the knees, flex the feet towards our kneecaps, tone the belly, lengthen the neck, lots of cueing going on, and then elevate your knees and open your knees. So you want to be on your bolster so you're not cramping, okay? That you're lifting your knees and then lowering your knees, okay? If you get a cramp, just shake out your legs. It's obviously you work too hard. So you bring your feet together and lift your thighs. Press the floor away so that you stay lifted. Got it? So it's back bend. From here, we're going to squeeze the knees together and lift the knees even higher, and it might be a millimeter. Keep your chest up, and then open the knees and lower the knees. It's tiny movement. So make sure that your pubis is on that bolster and that your thighs can move. So once again, let's squeeze the knees together first then, okay? Got it? Then lift the knees as much as you can, keeping your forearms pressing the floor away. Then open the knees and then lower the knees. Okay, keep your knees open now this time. Lift the knees as high as you can, then squeeze the knees together and then lower the knees to the mat. So we're going to play back and forth in that. So keep your torso up, keep yourself from sinking down, keep yourself lifted. Press the floor away with the root of your index finger. Lift knees, open knees, lower knees. Lift knees, squeeze knees together, lower knees with a smile. Lift knees, open knees, lower knees. Lift knees, squeeze knees together, lower knees. Got it? Lift knees, it's a dance. Open knees, lower knees. You've got it. Lift knees, squeeze knees together, lower knees. Beautiful. Let's do this 5 more times. Lift knees, open knees, lower knees. You got it. Lift knees, squeeze knees together, and lower the knees. Lift the knees, open the knees, lower the knees. Lift the knees, squeeze the knees together, then lower the knees. So it's tiny movements for some of us, but it's effective, trust me. Lift the knees together, open the knees, and then lower the knees. So the inner edges of your feet are touching. You're getting it. Lift your knees, they're wide apart, then you squeeze them together, and then you lower them. Got it? Good. Lift the knees, open the knees, and lower the knees. Opened. Lift the knees, they're open, squeeze them together, and then lower them. Let's do one more. Lift the knees, open the knees, lower the knees, and then plantar flex your feet, smooth yourself out, stack your hands, and rest your shoulders. And maybe you want to windshield wipe those legs. Fantastic. Yeehaw. Good job. And then extend your legs. Let's smooth out through the right arm. Roll to your backside. Keep that bolster there. Shimmy back onto the bolster so that your bum is on the bolster. Literally your sacral area, your butt valley. And then bring your feet and knees together. Spatially open up your arms. Tuck your shoulder blades together. Press into the back of the skull. Tone the belly button in towards the back of the spine. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. And then pick up those knees. Good. From here, extend your legs up as high as you can. And it could be bent knees, could be straight legs. It depends on you. From here, secure your shoulders in the back of the skull. Floint your feet as if you're Barbie doll feet. So in other words, point them, then bring your toes towards you like you're pressing on a gas pedal. Yeah, so they're not flexed towards your nose. They're not pointed straight up towards the ceiling, halfway maybe. Bring your toes towards you like you're pressing through the balls of your feet. You are literally. From here, knit the belly button in, keep your shoulders down. Inhale the right leg as much as you can towards the floor, keeping the left leg up. Pause, and we're going to hold it for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and then take that right leg to join the left leg. Inhale the left leg about a foot from the floor for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and then join that left leg to right leg. Now here's the tricky part, whether your knees are bent or straight, just take a moment here just to hold them together and then start to lengthen them towards the floor together. Lengthening the tailbone, knitting the belly button in, keeping your shoulders and your head down, and only go as far as you can maintain the tone of your belly. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and then bend your knees towards your chest. Release your feet to the mat. Bend your elbows out at your side, or into your side, I should say. Palms facing each other. Tuck your shoulder blades in. Head down. And then bring your feet at least hip distance apart. What I like to do is bring them together, then turn my toes out, press into the balls of my feet, lift my heels, and then line my heels up with my balls of my feet. Got it. Hip distance apart. Use the bird's eye view for that. When you're ready, let's lengthen the tailbone towards the knees and start to elevate the hips as high as you can. So the idea here is to find that back bend. Tuck your shoulder blades in that much more. Press the back of the skull behind the eyeballs, so close your eyes so that you can really feel the back of your eyes pressing in towards the floor. That is the back of the skull. And elevate your hips as much as you can, lengthening your tailbone towards your knees. Press your triceps, your upper arms into the floor, and continue to lift your hips even a millimeter more. Feel the 4 points of your feet pressing into the floor, and think about that, really digging those feet down, and then elevating your hips maybe a tiny bit more for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and then slowly lower your bum back to the bolster. Plant your palms down. Bend your knees towards your chest. Reassess your bum, your butt valley on that bolster. Inhale your legs back up. Tuck your shoulder blades in the back of the skull. Strong legs, whether your knees are bent for hamstring reasons. But eventually inhaling the right leg about a foot from the floor for 5, for 4, for 3, 2. Elevate that right leg to join the left. Inhale left leg about a foot from the floor. If you want more of a challenge, lower the right leg towards the left leg so you've got more toning happening in the belly for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and then exhaling that left leg to join right leg. Pause, tone the belly in, lengthen the tailbone, shoulders down, then inhale those legs about a foot from the floor or wherever you feel that you can keep the tone in your belly for 5, for 4, shoulders are down, head is down, for 3, for 2, and then exhale, bend those knees up towards your chest. Plant your feet down hip distance apart. Figure that one out. Karate chop your upper arms into the mat. Tuck your shoulder blades in. Press to the back of the skull. Shine those fingers. And when you're ready, lengthen that tailbone towards your knees. Elevating as high as you can. Tucking your shoulder blades. Keeping your chin towards the notch of your throat. Close your eyes so you feel the back of your eyes, the head. Only lengthen that tailbone up as much as you can towards your knees by pressing into your feet and your triceps. So it really becomes a whole universal group together of muscles that are helping you to lift into the back bend, not just your glutes. So lengthening the tailbone towards your knees. It's a length, not a clenching of the butt cheeks. Those are different muscles in action there. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and then slowly lower the glutes to the mat with control, to the bolster. Plant your palms down. Bend your knees to your chest 3 times as a charm. Reassess your bum bump. Inhale your legs up as pointly as you can towards above the hips. Again, bent knees is an option if you have hamstrings that are tight. Inhaling the right leg strong and straight. Holding that, but toning the belly for 5. You can take that left leg closer towards the right leg for 4. Keep the tone of the belly, shoulders down for 3, with a smile for 2. Right leg joins left leg. Pause there, and when you're ready to inhale, left leg towards the floor, about a foot. Straight leg, strong straight leg for 5. You can lower that right leg if you want to tone that belly a little bit more, but keep that lower back belly pressing down for 4, 3, 2. Good, and then release that, or bring that left leg to join right leg. Squeeze them together, and now both legs go down. You've got this. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. Keep the tone of the belly. Keep on toning that belly. Keep your shoulders down, your head down for 5,
for 4, for 3, for 2, and then bend your knees, feet flat on the floor, hip distance apart. Reassess your upper arms, palms face each other, shoulder blades together, back of the skull down. Lengthen the tailbone as you lift your hips. So it's not clenching your butt cheeks, it's lengthening the tailbone towards your knees so you open up your hip flexors more, and then you're able to get a little bit more height. Once you've got that going on, press into your triceps and your feet, back of your skull, and elevating and being very mindful. So close your eyes and feel the structures of your being, like really contracting to lift your hips for 5. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other for 4. For 3, lengthen that tailbone towards your knees for 2. And then very slowly release your bum back towards that bolster. And then mindfully bend your knees towards your chest. Give them a nice little squeeze. Roll off to one side. Just enough to slide that bolster, come back to knees towards chest. So you're off your bolster, bums on the floor. And then take a moment just to shake out your arms and your legs. And then bending your knees, bring your knees directly over your hips so you're toning your belly in order to do that. So anchor it down, flex your feet like floint, Barbie doll feet. Take your straight arms, palms to the thighs. We've done this in many episodes. And resist your quads against your hands as you knit the belly button in for 10, for 9, for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then hug your knees into your chest. Good job. So just take a moment to play in that, and then la 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 la, be you. You've got it. Let's do that again. Hands to quads, floint your feet, resist for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Breathe that breath. Breathe that breath. Like, use your breath, okay? And then hug your knees into your chest. So let's open up the arms. I don't want to do 3 of those. I invite us to do that twist so it really gets into the internal external obliques. This is only 20 minutes or so. So palms down, slightly below the shoulders. Needle those shoulder blades closer together. Elevate your knees closer to your chest as much as you have room, with your knees together as much as you can. And allow that your legs come to more of a 90 degree as you floint your feet. And on your exhalation, dive those knees towards your elbow. Exhale, and then don't let them rest. Inhale to center, reassess your head, shoulders, and sacrum, then exhale to the other elbow, towards it, not touching it. Oh yeah. And then on that full exhalation, you pause, then inhale to center, reassess on the inhale, then exhale to the other side. So you're just going back and forth with control. You're gonna feel this, it might dig into your hips. That's why a blanket underneath your hips is awesome. Inhale, center. It's hard to do this when I'm talking. Assess and exhale. Go at your own pace, creating this really strong hold through the shoulders and your lumbar spine as you navigate in breath center and exhale to the other side. So let's do another one on each side. How about that? You've got it. Oh yeah. And then hug those knees into your chest, cross your ankles. I'm gonna move my bolster to the side, because now hold your knees or shins or flexed feet. Tuck your forehead towards your knees and start to vertically roll. So keeping your forehead as tucked in as closely towards your knees as possible, holding your knees or your shins, and roll several times. And then come up with the strength of your being. Reassess your legs, crossing them, opening up your heart, rolling your shoulders, move your jaw around. Yeah. Open up those beautiful arms, take them wide, reach them further back, pop your chest forward, say hello, yes. And then exhale, round your spine. A little cat-cow to end our practice. Simple 20-minute practices. Inhale, lift your heart. It's a great way to find your clarity, your stability, and create your strength there. You got it. Stability creates that mobility and strength. So stabilizing our muscles. You've got it. A couple more rounds. On your next in-breath, take your arms up towards the sky.
And then exhale them into your heart center. Ah, lovely. Thank you for joining me on the mat for a quick little 20-minute practice. And we don't want to make it quick, but it goes by really quick. Place your hands back onto your heart center and thank yourself for being on the mat and being in your sovereign self and doing what is the best thing for you, practicing ahimsa, loving yourself in the now. Let us end this practice with a beautiful Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Yes, this is a spiritual practice. It is not an exercise of just exercising the body. It's mind, body, and soul. Thank you. I hope you found some information there that supported you. Hey, join me in the Restore Breath and Meditate then.